happy to yield 5 minutes to Ms. Muller. You're recognized for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman Jackson-Lee, Ranking Member Biggs, and committee members. I'm honored to be here today to discuss this important topic and brainstorm on strategies to save lives. For decades now, the conversation seems to only lead to gun control advocates pushing for more laws and more restrictions. It's time to look at the evidence, acknowledge the truth, and consider alternatives. The truth is we all want the same thing. We all want to be safe, and we want our families to be safe. The difference is how we believe that is achieved. For over 30 years, the strictest gun control policies have been adopted by several major cities across the country. Based on decades of evidence in cities like St. Louis and Chicago and many more, it's apparent that these policies do not work. The results are the same. When average citizens are less capable of defending themselves, criminals are emboldened, crime soars, and communities are less safe. As a retired police officer, I saw firsthand the impact of violence on communities. I can tell you that buzzwords like epidemic, ghost guns, weapons of war, or assault weapon are designed to push false narratives and are designed to scare the public. We always hear about common sense gun control. Common sense is that cities plagued with violence should adopt the laws of cities that are not plagued with violence. Common sense is not making more rules, more laws, registrations, and fees that make protecting yourself a rich man's game. Gun control laws disproportionately affect lower-income minority communities. Gun control is steeped in racism. Common sense is making mental health a priority when 55% of deaths are suicide. Common sense is holding criminals accountable for breaking the law instead of releasing them from jail, raising bail for them, or encouraging them to be more confrontational. Many Americans are exhausted by the incessant attacks on our Second Amendment rights. I founded the DC Project Women for Gun Rights because we were tired of listening to women who do not represent us, women who are not experts in firearms or in violence, and yet they demand that legislators restrict our constitutional and civil rights. I'm honored to speak on behalf of the members of the DC's project, mothers, daughters, young and old, Black, white, Latina, Asian, hunters, competitors, transgender, straight, #MeToo, #NotMe, on the political left and right. The Second Amendment wins on the intersectionality scale. There are women in our group that have endured unspeakable violence. Lucretia lost her son to gang violence. Melissa was stabbed 17 times, raped, beat, and left for dead in her parents' home in a stranger invasion. Nikki saw her husband shot and killed by her stalker in a gun-free zone, which is where 95% of mass killings occur. All of these women are intimately familiar with the failures of gun control. 2020 brought us a pandemic, riots, looting and killing in an effort to defund the police. Crime is soaring in those cities. Americans are realizing that they are their own first responder, which is why we're seeing record gun sales and an estimated 8.4 million first-time purchasers. I will also add that the Second Amendment wasn't written about hunting. It was written about we, the people, and a tyrannical government. The question before us is, how do we reduce violence in our country? There are details and links in my written testimony, but these are a few programs that have had successful results. The Hunter's Education Program has exponentially lowered firearms-related incidents and fatalities. The Kids Safe Foundation takes the target audience a step further and focuses on all children, not just hunters. 0 firearms accidents is the only acceptable goal. Hold My Guns is a suicide prevention program that respects civil rights. All of these are community-based grassroots programs that are geared towards safety. Instead of exploiting tragedy and pushing pain to push a gun control agenda, let's work in a nonpartisan way to expand programs and deliver measurable results. The DC Project Women are available to a resource to all of you. We will meet, talk, train, whatever we can do to achieve safety in our communities through education, not legislation. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I look forward to your questions.
Muller for her testimony.